Y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Thank you, Roger Bonds, for putting it out there. It came to life for y'all. It came to life for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. What he look like telling somebody to whoop my He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
Gene Deal has been on a mission, jumping on interviews, podcasts, and live streams, sharing story after story about Diddy's darkest secrets and exposing the side of the bad boy era we were never meant to know. But with every revelation, Gene moves carefully, almost like he's dodging shadows, because he understands the power Diddy holds and how far he might go to silence someone. And here's the shocking part. Those fears aren't just paranoia. Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, recently admitted he was once told to do the same thing. Go after people who crossed Diddy. That doesn't just support Gene's claims. It makes the whole situation far more frightening. This story is intense. It's dramatic. And it's deadly serious. When someone like Roger Bonds, who lived in that world, saw the darkness up close and once held Diddy's trust, steps forward with a warning, you know this isn't gossip or clout chasing. What makes it even crazier is that Gene isn't out here trying to start beef. He's simply sharing his truth, recounting what he witnessed during his time with Bad Boy. But now, those truths could end up costing him his life.
I've been seeing this a lot online. How you feel about the people that say that you should be worried if Diddy get out?
Needs something to say, bro. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. And God knows I could bodyguard myself with his blessings. I could bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene gotta be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999, high-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? How I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Cause niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have Nick right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know? That shit made the news.
Let's break this down because what's happening here is bigger than just a few stories. This is about Diddy's collapsing empire, the federal trial closing in on him, and former insiders like Roger Bonds and Gene Deal exposing secrets he never wanted the world to know. And the closer we look, the scarier it gets. First, let's talk about who these people are. Roger Bonds isn't just some random guy on YouTube. From 2003 to 2012, he was Diddy's head of security, the man responsible for protecting him in clubs, at award shows, and behind the scenes. He was trusted to handle situations most of us couldn't even imagine. But while protecting Diddy, Bonds also became a witness. He saw how Diddy treated people in his circle, the power moves, the intimidation tactics. Eventually, Bonds had enough and walked away. Since then, he's been speaking out more and more about what really went on during those years. And when Roger Bonds talks, people listen, because he isn't repeating rumors. He's speaking from first-hand experience.
So let me ask you a question. How long before you started working with him did you start to see like red flags and did you know like, damn, this kind of crazy? Was it like immediate, or is it like he gained your trust and you started vibing and you started seeing shit? Or was it like off the rip, you knew like, hey, something up with him?
Now enters Gene Deal. If you've been following this saga, you've probably heard his name a lot recently. Gene isn't some outsider looking in. He's a former bodyguard who was deep inside Bad Boy during its golden era, back when Diddy was shaping the careers of legends like the notorious B.I.G., Maze, and so many others who defined a generation of hip-hop. Gene wasn't just watching history happen. He was part of the machine that kept it moving. He was there in the shadows at sold-out concerts, outside VIP rooms, and in hotel hallways where deals were made and secrets were kept. After Gene left Bad Boy, he began speaking out, pulling back the curtain on what life inside the empire was really like once you stripped away the glitz and glamour. And not long after, his successor, Roger Bonds, stepped forward too, backing up parts of Gene's story with his own experiences. Some of Gene's claims match Roger's almost perfectly, making them more than just believable. They show that Gene was—
Man, listen here. I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago. And the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, you know, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritually. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, you know, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't gotta fear no man. She ain't gotta fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, you know, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And you know, go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And for the people that don't know who Tiffany Red is, that's Cassie's best friend.
That's one of Cassie's friends. She was writing a lot of music, and she said that she was writing music for her friends to get. Oh my God, man, come on, man.
Here's the key difference. Roger Bonds is measured, careful, and reflective when he shares his truth. Gene Deal, on the other hand, is raw, unfiltered, and fiery. He speaks with a kind of emotion that doesn't sound rehearsed. It feels like someone finally letting out years of bottled up truth. That raw energy is exactly why his interviews have gone viral. But it's also what's put a massive target on his back. Because when you speak with passion, anger, and zero filter, people can't just brush you off. And for someone like Diddy, who built his empire on control, Gene Deal isn't just inconvenient.
Man, you know, leopard don't change his spots, and Diddy been doing this real long time, bro. He been doing this for a long time. And now another artist, this artist didn't wait 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait 20 years. You understand? He waited a year or two after he stopped working with him and saw he didn't get what he was supposed to get. And he said, yo, listen here, man. I'm putting in my claims right now because I'm gonna show everybody what really happened, what really went down. It's crazy. When I was reading I read the whole thing. Shout out to Keisha in Kansas City. She sent me the whole documentation, bro, and you know the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, you know, it sound a lot of it sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, you know, convince this guy, you know, or put him in a situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bull. Yo, it all sound familiar, man. I read the whole thing, man, and it was crazy.
And for the people that don't know what you're talking about, because the lawsuit is new, so, you know, some people still catching up with it. Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Young Miami cousin tried to have in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, you know, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her for whatever reason. And then when he came out the bathroom, she continued to try to do that and try to have, wanted him to have on her. Diddy and the rest of the people that was in there. You know, that's how they do, man. They try to use a girl that you might like or you may think you might like, or they think you might like her or whatever, to convince you to lay down your guards with them. And he didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you're not surprised by none of this, because you said that Ja Rule, they did this to him, right?
No, remember, and people got it confused when I said that Ja and him was in the room with two girls, with Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend. You understand? He was trying to get Ja to go at Jay-Z. So what he did was try to get another girl, you understand, to do something with Ja. I guess, I don't know, they in the room together. So when they, in that thing, I know what he was planning on doing because I heard the conversation.
Recently, Roger Bonds went on a podcast and dropped a bombshell. He revealed that Diddy once gave direct orders to physically attack Gene Deal and another bad boy insider, Mark Curry. This wasn't speculation or rumor. These were orders that Bonds admits he refused to fully carry out. According to Bonds, Diddy told him and his crew to punch Gene and Mark for daring to criticize him publicly back in the late 2000s. Just think about that. A billionaire mogul so furious at old associates for speaking the truth that he allegedly ordered violence in retaliation. That's not just petty, that's mob tactics. And that's why Bond's warning to Gene today feels so chilling. This isn't about old drama. It's about a pattern. If Diddy allegedly ordered attacks before, why wouldn't he try it again now? Especially with the biggest legal crisis of his life hanging over him. Bonds made it clear. Gene isn't safe. The message was simple, almost unspoken, but heavy. They're coming for you and you need to be ready. That wasn't entertainment. That was a lifeline. A warning from someone who's seen this playbook unfold before.
As it's getting worse, you getting older. So as you getting older, you getting wiser. And you understand, okay, this stop. You know what I'm saying? None of this stop because it's nobody there to stop it, and this person is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, what's there to make you stop? You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel like what he's going through now, that's enough to make you stop. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't never went through this and everything you going through gets swept under the rug, it ain't no reason for you to stop. Bonds ain't gonna make me stop. Bonds is just another security dude. Now I see that. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in it and you going through it, that person knows how to make you feel like, yo, you ain't gonna never gotta worry about nothing because this is what they telling you, this is what you seeing. So each and every day, I'm not gonna lie, you hope that that person wakes up the next morning and a red light went off in their head. Say, yo, I gotta treat better. Or I gotta treat a person better. Or I gotta do this. So that's what you hoping. And then you get to the point where you say, yeah, nah, they change. You know what I'm saying? So one of the main things that happened was I got diabetes. Right, I was in Spain somewhere, and I kept going to the bathroom like every 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm like, what you going to the bathroom for? Somebody said, yo, you know, if you go to the bathroom a lot, you get diabetes. Because you got to remember, we was traveling and moving so much, there was places that we would be at that you wouldn't even drink the water. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, yo, if you from the United States, the water gonna make you sick.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
been to Mexico a few times and got sick as hell off that water.
Oh, for the water.
Yeah,
So you end up drinking sodas and juices all day long. So that's one of the things that happened. So I looked at it as like, that was like one of the ways that God got me out my situation.
So how did Gene Deal respond? With fear, real raw fear. In a recent interview, he admitted that he needs protection. He said the threats against him are serious, that he believes people are already moving against him, and that he doesn't feel safe walking around without constantly looking over his shoulder. Think about that. This is a man who once spent years protecting one of the most powerful figures in music. Now he's the one saying he needs a bodyguard just to stay alive. That reversal alone shows just how dark things have gotten.
How dark this has gotten.
Drinking and start popping and passing it to dudes around them. I left from the area and got my own table. You not rocking me to sleep. You never rocked me to sleep. Though I worked for you, you wasn't doing no dirt. That's why my days was with you when you had your kids. Because you knew you couldn't do that dirty. And that's a good judgment on your behalf. Roger Barnes got on that show and said, he said, yo, we seen Gene plenty of times. But we knew Puff was a and we had to live in Harlem. That's because we know the same people. When Roger Barnes talk to people about me, they gonna say Gene a stand-up dude. Gene was all right, bruh.
This story isn't just entertainment. It's a dangerous unraveling of secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. Gene Deal is risking everything by speaking his truth. And the question now is how far Diddy will go to silence it. Stay locked in because this saga is only getting darker. And the next chapter could change everything. If you're watching, don't just scroll. Share this, talk about it.